Growing old is inevitable, but growing wise is a choice. We often admire the elderly for their wisdom, but not everyone ages gracefully. Some people, instead of becoming wiser, become more stubborn, ignorant, or even foolish. Have you ever met an older person who refuses to accept reality, constantly complains, or makes poor decisions despite years of experience? Today, let's uncover the 5 clear signs of a stupid person in old age so that we can avoid these pitfalls ourselves. A truly intelligent person understands that learning never stops, no matter their age. Yet, a foolish person in old age believes they have already learned everything they need to know. This mindset is dangerous because it prevents growth, adaptability, and understanding of the world as it evolves. Think about technology. How often have you seen older individuals refuse to use a smartphone, dismiss social media as useless, or insist that things were better when information was only found in books? While there's nothing wrong with cherishing traditional methods, refusing to engage with new advancements only isolates a person from society. The same applies to cultural changes, scientific discoveries, and even simple new ways of doing things. An intelligent mind remains open, curious, and willing to understand the present world. When someone clings to outdated beliefs without questioning them, they become stuck in time, limiting their ability to contribute to meaningful discussions. Those who refuse to learn new skills, dismiss modern knowledge, and reject evolving perspectives don't just appear ignorant, they actively choose to be left behind. Knowledge is not about holding onto what you once knew, it's about continuously expanding your mind. If a person in old age stops embracing new information, they are not wise, they are simply stagnant. Another sign of foolishness in old age is the inability to take responsibility for one's own life. Instead of reflecting on their past mistakes and learning from them, they blame others for every misfortune they face. You'll often hear them complain about younger generations, criticize modern society, or insist that everything wrong in their life was caused by someone else. This is not wisdom, it's avoidance. Intelligent people, regardless of age, recognize that life is a series of choices, and while circumstances can be difficult, personal responsibility is key to growth. A foolish person refuses to acknowledge their own role in their struggles. They blame their financial troubles on the government, their family conflicts on others' shortcomings, and even their health problems on external factors rather than their own habits. This constant victim mentality is a sign of emotional and intellectual immaturity. Rather than seeking solutions or adapting, they wallow in complaints, making themselves and those around them miserable. True wisdom comes from self-awareness, from understanding that while not everything is within our control, how we respond to life's challenges is entirely up to us. The ability to reflect, learn, and adapt is what separates the wise from the foolish, especially in old age. Neglecting health and well-being is one of the clearest signs of foolishness in old age. The body may slow down, but wisdom lies in making choices that support longevity and vitality. Yet, some individuals refuse to listen to doctors, ignore medical advice, and continue unhealthy habits despite knowing the consequences. They dismiss exercise as unnecessary, reject dietary changes, and insist that everyone has to go someday, using this as an excuse to avoid taking care of themselves. This mindset is not strength, it is self-destruction. A wise person understands that health is a foundation for enjoying life, staying independent, and being there for loved ones. They recognize that small adjustments, eating better, staying active, managing stress can make a significant difference. A foolish person, however, sees these recommendations as inconveniences rather than opportunities to improve their quality of life. They refuse to acknowledge their own role in their declining health, blaming age instead of poor lifestyle choices. What's worse, this attitude often spreads negativity, influencing younger generations to view aging as a process of inevitable suffering rather than a stage of life that can still be lived fully. Choosing to ignore one's well-being is not just a personal loss, it impacts everyone around them, creating burdens for family members and reducing their ability to contribute positively to society. Stubbornness is often mistaken for strength, but in reality, it's a sign of foolishness. Some older individuals believe that refusing to change or accept new ideas makes them principled when, in fact, it only makes them resistant to growth. They reject different perspectives, dismiss younger voices, and refuse to acknowledge that the world is constantly evolving. A wise person listens, engages, and remains open-minded, understanding that no one is ever too old to learn. A foolish person clings to outdated beliefs, arguing that things were better in my day, without considering whether that is truly the case. They become defensive when challenged, unwilling to even entertain the possibility that their views might need adjusting. This rigidity not only isolates them but also stifles meaningful conversations and relationships. It creates a barrier between them and the younger generations, making them seem out of touch rather than respected. True wisdom is not about proving oneself right at all costs, it's about understanding that knowledge is always expanding. When an older person remains open to new information, they earn admiration and respect. When they refuse, they risk becoming irrelevant in a world that is constantly moving forward. Some people believe that being stubborn is a sign of strength, but in reality, it often signals a refusal to grow. A truly wise person understands that life is a continuous journey of learning and adaptation, but a foolish person sees their beliefs as immovable truths. This becomes more evident in old age when some individuals refuse to acknowledge new perspectives, dismissing anything that contradicts their long-held opinions. They reject modern ideas, refuse to accept social progress, and shut down conversations that challenge their views. Instead of engaging in meaningful discussions, they insist that their way is the only way, often saying, "I've lived long enough to know better," as if experience alone guarantees wisdom. But experience without reflection leads to stagnation. The world is constantly changing, and those who refuse to evolve with it become relics of the past, not respected elders. A wise person listens, questions, and is willing to consider different viewpoints, even if they ultimately hold on to their own beliefs. A foolish person, however, shuts down any idea that doesn't align with their worldview, mistaking resistance for wisdom. This rigidity isolates them, making it difficult for younger generations to connect with them. Respect isn't earned through stubbornness but through openness and understanding. The most admired elders are not those who refuse to change but those who embrace the present while sharing the wisdom of the past. Living in the past is another clear sign of foolishness in old age. While nostalgia is natural and memories hold value, constantly comparing the present to the good old days prevents a person from fully experiencing life. A foolish person romanticizes the past to the point where they refuse to accept any progress, seeing every modern change as a decline rather than an evolution. They complain about technology, criticize younger generations, and resist new ways of thinking, believing that anything different from their time must be wrong. But the world doesn't move backward, it only moves forward. Those who refuse to adapt become stuck in a cycle of dissatisfaction, failing to recognize the opportunities and advancements that come with time. A wise person, however, appreciates the past without being trapped by it. They understand that every era has its strengths and weaknesses and choose to focus on how they can still learn and contribute. By embracing the present with an open mind, they remain relevant, engaged, and connected to the world around them.